Welcome to another edition of In Clayman's Terms, Thoughts from the Futon. And this video is going along with today's post about Google Stadia. So for those who don't know, Google Stadia is Google's new attempt to move gaming into the cloud. And we're not talking about the usual cloud gaming that you might have experienced with Facebook games or even some of the games on your phone. But this is taking full PC or console gaming, putting it on the cloud, and then letting you play it through a Chrome browser. Literally, it's moving all of the computational requirements, all the graphics processing requirements, and all the audio processing requirements into Google's data centers, and then streaming all that to you. There's going to be a lot of things that'll really prevent this from working right unless they get it right. So latency, which is the speed at which the input you put into the controller or your computer gets to their servers and does an action. That's latency. If that is not fast, like really fast, partially dependent on your connection, partially dependent on their side, the experience just won't be there. If they can nail the latency, and if they can nail the speeds to a point where most people can use their home computer, like their home connection, to play the game, I think Microsoft and Sony are going to have to follow suit, because this will make gaming cheaper. Now, there is a subscription. You're still going to have to buy the games. But from a pure cost to entry, $10 a month plus a cost of games versus a $500 down payment, maybe you're still getting the same amount of time, but with Stadia, you're going to get newer games faster than consoles, and you're going to keep up with the graphical upgrades and graphical speeds of the PC gaming world. If done right, this will really change the way people game. Now, for those who don't follow high-end PCs, there are two main markets that drive high-end PC sales. One is gaming, and the other is professional use. And some of that feeds into gaming as well. And I'm not saying there aren't gaming pros, but when I say professional use, I mean the folks who are sitting there doing graphic design, doing video editing, doing rendering, doing audio processing. They're really driving one side of the high-end PC market. A great example of that is the new Mac Pro. I will not be reviewing that unless one of you fine viewers want to send me one, because A, I don't have the money for it. It is quite an expensive system, and B, I don't have the use. The IT I'm in doesn't require that level of processing power. Professionally, I write middleware services for a living in a financial company. So not as exciting or as interesting, but still very important. But change the subject from that. For those who are doing graphic processing, though, that sort of machine, if you're editing 8K video streaming, you need an immensely powerful machine. So when you see those brand new 8K displays who are showing some crisp and clear video, someone had to edit that, and they needed a machine that could do it. So that's driving one side. The other side is, of course, video games. And that's because video game manufacturers on the PC side want to keep pushing what the hardware can do, making it look more and more realistic. Console gaming is kind of the stepchild of PC gaming, and I know a lot of console folks won't like that. I'm a console gamer. I prefer it because you invest once, and then you know for the next X number of years, like 5 years, your console will play every game that comes out. There's some stability there, and you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses of getting 4 or 5 graphics card to play the latest game. That's a little exaggeration, but you get what I mean. Not a lot of people can afford that. There's a real privilege, financially speaking, to playing high-end PC games. High-end console games, not as much. It still requires a fairly hefty investment, $500 or $600 at the beginning. But then you know every game that comes out you can play. And if you don't need top of the line, there's a lot of games in the previous generation. Stadia kind of takes that up a notch. It's basically saying, look, you pay us a monthly fee, you'll get access to some titles. You may have to buy the newest of the new, but they'll stream to your Chromebook. I mean, that is mind-boggling, getting a full PC video game experience on a Chromebook. If they can do it, it's going to be fantastic. We'll see if they can, but this one is definitely worth watching.